Hey guys, welcome to AceGamesTV. I'm the Fohn, your source for all Starcraft information on this channel, and I have an awesome game for you from the MLG Winter Arena between probably one of the two bigger names that was there, STPartinG and Complexity MVP's Dongeraegu. Parting, great Protoss player. He's not necessarily the biggest name from StarTale. I personally, when I think of StarTale, I think of Bomber, like right off the bat. It's the first person that pops off my head, but Parting is still like one of the better Protosses in GSL, and Dongeraegu is just Dongeraegu. He's like, oh, well, I'll get to you in a second, but Dongeraegu is, up until recently when he got rolled by Marine King twice in 2 tournaments in a row, he was considered the best player by most commentators and most players in general. He still is considered the best Zerg in the world, right next to Nestea, maybe, if Nestea decides to come back to the original grandeur that he used to be. But it looks like Dongeraegu wants to go for 6 pool. I'm kind of curious as to why he thought that would be a good idea. I mean, it does look like Party's going for a Forge Fast Expand, which basically is like a direct counter. So this 6 pool should work out pretty good, but I have a feeling that Parting is a decent enough player to hold it off. He'll probably just put like a pylon back here behind the mineral line and then a cannon right there to deal with that. Does have a forge going down, so he should be able to hold it off pretty well, and his probe's going to scout there first. So really, this just kind of screws over DRG. This isn't going to work, but it's going to keep Parting from expanding at least. Now he does see that, and immediately, as soon as this forge finishes, you're going to see a cannon go down. Probably around here. That way it cuts off this part. A lot of Protoss. There's too much area over here to cover. So, yep. Usually goes over here. And plus it protects the gas a lot easier on this side. DRG still doesn't know where Parting is. So this is just all the way bad for him. Link's still kind of skirting around trying to figure out where he is. Overlord just happened to see the forge, so he knows now, but too little, too late. Parting just spending all the credit boost on the Nexus, that way he can get out probes. And DRG actually built a ton of links. He does have drones building right now. Let's go ahead and look at the tab. Yeah, he's already 7 drones behind. He screwed this up something bad. Not only did he get scouted first, but he scouted Parting last. So that just kind of like is the worst situation you can possibly have when you're doing a 6 pool. Now he is just going to keep Parting from expanding, going to hold him in. He is going to take out both these right here, do whatever damage he can do. Isn't really going to be able to do much more than that. That cannon is just quite well placed, and Parting doing the smart thing and blocking DRG from expanding as well, putting a pylon there. And right now DRG is just kind of patrolling the map, checking to see if there's anything going on. A lot of people, at least at my level of play, which isn't the highest, I will admit, but a lot of people will just be like, okay, well he just 6-pooled me, let me counter with a proxy gateway or something, or put a try and hide a pylon somewhere. So DRG is just making sure that doesn't happen right now. Now I'm curious to see what how Parting's going to respond. He does have the double gas because he's already fully saturated. I'm pretty sure he has enough. Yeah, he's got enough probes to fully saturate everything. So it'd basically just be wasted probes on the mineral line, so why not grab the gas? He should be expanding pretty soon, I would feel like. He can get a pylon down and then expand and be okay. He does have units coming out as well, and some gateways going down. He should put down another one to be safe. At least I would imagine he would here in a second. I do have a Stalker and a Zealot out, so he really is safe to expand right now, in my opinion. There aren't that many Lings on the map. Yeah, there's going to be 10 here in a second, so I feel as though he has enough to hold off whatever kind of Ling pressure would come in. 3 gateways here. Put it. A bit of a slip up there by Parting, but I don't think it's going to be that major that it's going to completely change the game. Speed about halfway done. A couple of sentries being warped in, or not warped in. He doesn't even have warp gate research yet. A lot of Lings being produced, though. I think that MVP Dongeraegu thinks that Parting already has this expansion and really wants to put on some pressure. However, there is a Stalker at the front. Not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, pick off a few Lings, and that's about it. And yeah, that's a lot of Lings, so DRG is definitely thinking about doing something with these. Otherwise, it's just kind of useless. Parting doesn't really have like any holes in his defense though, so that all these lings are just kind of, they're useless. They're dead weight right now. He needs to be making drones. Stalker's still not being dealt with. Ling speed's about to finish. These stalkers are going to get taken out. Finally, Pylon at the front, and Parting's going to freak out once he sees all these lings though. I really don't think he needs to. He has enough defense. Sentry force fields are a beautiful thing. Now, the smart thing that he's doing right here is making it so that if he needs to, it's only one force field. These two pylons make it so that he doesn't have to use two just to force field off one area. A little bit of a trick there that I think Parting discovered. This is the first time I've ever seen anybody do it, but it's actually extremely smart. Now, Parting should be able to expand here fairly easily. Got a decent amount of force fields saved up here, and that seems to be all he's warping in right now is sentries, so DRG really can't do anything. He could try and force a run by, but I feel as though Parting's too good to let that happen. Just chuck a force field down and he'd be okay. And I think DRG respects that, so he's not running in there immediately. And DRG still doesn't have any kind of tech. Does have 3 on gas. Does have another gas here with 3 in it as well that he just put in there. Hasn't, just started his layer right there, so DRG's put in a really weird situation. He failed a 6 pool. He's behind in drones. Parting's getting his expansion up. They're kind of on even footing, but I feel like Parting's ahead. He had a lot of probes on DRG for a while. DRG is up on them right now, but it's Parting was too far ahead for too long in terms of probes, in my opinion. So DRG is going to have to find some kind of way to bounce back. We do have a Twilight Council. Not going to see any DTs because he doesn't have a 3rd and a 4th gas, so it's probably just going to be Blink Stalkers. 5th gate? Finishing up, I believe that was the 5th one? Yeah, that's the 5th one. And if I was Parting, I would just be producing mass stalkers right now and getting a robo. And get ready to do some Blink shenanigans. Probably over here on the cliff. You could do it over here too, but that's kind of dangerous. A couple of Phoenixes flying around that, checking to see if anything's going on. And DRG is grabbing another gas. He does have a Spire going down. And an Infestation Pit. So he's kind of leaving both options open depending on what he sees. Personally, I don't like mutas in this matchup. A lot of people do for some reason, just because it's like this whole idea of keeping the Protoss in their base. And Parting actually walls off and gets ready to move out. A neat trick that a lot of Protoss have been doing in general, moving out, is just putting that pylon there so no Ling run-bys can happen, which is really smart. However, oh, nope, never mind. None of them. He didn't. I don't know why Protoss wall off this ramp, because then just run by. It's kind of stupid. I don't know why I even thought that Parting would do that. He's smarter than that. Pylon going to go down here. He's probably going to use a hallucinated Phoenix and warp in a bunch of Zealots on the high ground. There are some Spine Crawlers here. Yep, DRG definitely knows this is here. Definitely knows what's going on. Getting some Spine Crawlers up so that that won't happen, hopefully. But this Pylon's going to finish, and I don't think these Spine Crawlers are going to do the trick, especially once +1 finishes. Probe does get taken out, so no more Pylons, but 5 Zealots on the high ground. Let's see if he can actually do any damage. He'll probably be able to kill off this Spine Crawler and a lot of Lings, but I don't think he'll grab a whole lot of drones. Should just pick off that one. There's a Zealot in the mineral line. I think he might have grabbed 1 or 2. But other than that, this gas, however, is going to get taken out. Nothing that DRG can really do about it. Still warping in Zealots. I don't know if that's necessary. Nice force field right there, keeping these Lings out. This is going to get held off, but there's going to be a lot of Lings lost because of it. Yeah, +1 just finished, so this is just going to be a massacre. Bunch of Infestors on the way. That's going to help a lot against these Blink Stalkers, help hold them in place. Gas going to get taken out again before it even finishes. That's really going to cut into any kind of tech production that DRG was thinking about doing. These are going to go down, and Parting thinks that he's done the damage that is necessary. Let's see if he grabbed any drones in that. No, not a single drone killed. Great defense by DRG. In fact, let's go to the Units Lost tab, and actually, Parting is behind. Kind of crazy. Lings are apparently even more cost effective than Marines now. A lot of force field saved up on these sentries. He is mass warping in stalkers now for that blink tech. Does have a robo on the way. They're going down over here for DRG. And Spire restarted or something? I feel as though it should have been done already. I mean, it does take a while to build, but definitely should have been done by now. I don't know if mutas are the best in this situation, especially since we have blink stalkers. They can just... I mean, blink stalkers are really mobile and can easily take out mutas if they're generally close. Mutas are all about catching your opponent off guard in the first place, so I guess it could work. Does get a cancel on the third, so that is a nice little win for DRG. I don't know if he should be attacking this though. He's gonna have to land some key fungals if he wants this to work. Dropping down some infested terror and gonna walk in there with those tanks some of the damage. Nice force fields, picks off a couple lings there, but Parting should be able to hold this just fine. Worst case scenario, he loses his sentries, but oh no, these infested Terran are actually doing work. Yet gets the cancel on the Nexus again. DRG should be happy with this and actually move out. Cannon is going to finish up, and he really needs to be careful with these infestors, because that's basically like the core of his army, and a huge blink forward. Going to take out 1, 2 infestors, possibly another. His blink should be off cooldown here in just a second. Oh, nice fungal. Keeping that oh, why? Oh man, he loses almost all infestors. Another nice fungal. DRG doing all he can to keep these infestors alive. Does happen to lose all but 2 so far, and Parting might actually just pick them all off if his blink comes off cooldown. Yep, and they are all gone. That is a huge blow to DRG. He does have a bunch of mutas though. Actually, that is a lot of mutas. He does have 10. They should be able to do a good amount of harass. And the blink stalkers are way out of position, so there's not really anything that Parting can do about this. This is the good part that I see. It just takes the knowledge of knowing where your opponent's army is and then doing it, which really, if you're controlling with mutas anyways, you should do that. So I guess now that I really take the time to think about it and vocalize my thoughts, it seems like a good idea. It's just on paper, Protoss are the best equipped to deal with mutas, with Psionic Storm and Archons and just blink stalkers, and even a sentry kills a mutalisk one-on-one, interestingly enough. Those little tickle noodles just do so much damage. You know, he is putting some photon cannons in the mineral lines, which is really smart. Fourth going down for DRG. There is a pylon right here though, so he may know about that. He may just assume that there's a base there. A couple of links scouting around for more pylons. Mutalisks are going to come in here for another round, trying to get some pot shots off before these cannons finish up. Now there are High Templar. Storm was just started not too long ago though, so they're basically useless against these mutalisks unless they get formed into Archons, which I don't know if he's going to do. Now there is a Warp Prism, so there may even be some Psystorm drops, which are absolutely beautiful and I would love to see. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. In fact, where is the Robo Bay? Where are you going? Where? I want to know. Now, Hive is getting close to halfway done. We have Roaches going to be used here soon. Now, he did get the melee upgrade. Not quite sure why. And a large attack from DRG. There are too many Mutalisks, in my opinion, especially since they do have the +1 upgrade on their attack. Does do a decent amount of damage. Some really nice force fields came out, though, and blocked those links from doing basically anything to that force. Didn't even get any kind of damage on the Nexus, which was really nice. I do believe that Warp Prism, nope, the Warp Prism is still around. You know what Blizzard needs to do for this observer thing? If they click on a unit, like a Warp Prism, it takes you directly to it, because it is a pain in the butt trying to find these things sometimes. In fact, I don't even know where the Warp Prism is right now. Sad face. Anyways, Some Psystorm did complete, so hopefully Parting can land some beautiful Psystorms. Those are always awesome to see. And we do have the Greater Spire going up, so we will be seeing Broodlords. Probably the reason why he decided to actually get that +1 melee attack was simply for the Broodlings. We do have some Archons being morphed, +1 armor. Now, Parting does have +3 attack, which is huge for any Protoss player. If you have +3 attack, it's a huge step. Like even without the armor, because you have those shields to basically tank most of the damage that you take. Mutalis's not really doing anything lately, just kind of floating around, seeing what's going on. They are going to try and come in here though, but there are 2 Archons over here and possibly Psystorms. Yeah, that's painful to see. Does get a good chunk of them down into the orange, which is unfortunate. However, he's just going to fly into the main and find out that there's no minerals left. He needs to be careful of these Mutalisks because they are just in no man's land right now. Oh my god. Huge Psystorms going down. Oh, that was beautiful. Almost all the Mutalisks are gone. Basically now he doesn't have to worry about any harass. A lot of spine crawlers being built, so he's banking on some kind of attack coming now from Parting. Either that or he's just trying to free up supply. He is getting pretty close to max. You have a large force of Stalkers and Archons moving out. A couple of High Templar in the back. And a large Ling counterattack. Should be able to take out this base. I'm going to take out a lot of probes actually. Just take out the 2 cannons. Now he's focusing down this Nexus. He needs to get that huge blink forward, trying to get all the Lings before the Nexus gets taken down. Nice storm. Is he going to save it? Oh my god. 124 health left on that Nexus. That was great play by Parting. We do have a 5th now for DRG. A couple of Mutals flying in the back, trying to focus this down. Oh, some clutch plays by Parting. 34 health left on that Nexus. And now he's just in an all-out attack. Almost all of DRG's units have been killed. We do have a good amount of Broodlords, however, and some Fungals coming down from the high ground. So DRG is going to be able to hold this off with the large amount of spines that he does have and those Broodlords. Let's have a couple storms saved up on these and feedbacks. So DRG really needs to be careful with those infestors. Huge blink forward into the Broodlords. Gonna lose a couple here. He shouldn't be able to take them all out. Some nice Fungals and huge storms on the Roaches. Another storm on the infestors and a couple of feedbacks. Oh, beautiful play by Parting, but I don't think he has enough. The Roaches are just too strong now. Gonna be able to eat through whatever he has left. Parting, even though he's getting some really nice storms and doing some really nice play, I feel as though certain small decisions like that huge blink forward are costing him because he couldn't blink micro back against those Roaches once they came down. Now another blink forward, and now DRG is going to take advantage of that and just focus down these Stalkers because they can't blink back anymore. Now we do have a Changeling scouting out the fact that Parting is probably going to be taking a 4th here pretty soon. DRG is just now starting to saturate his 5th, grabbing the gases. And basically, Roach is just walking around the map, controlling everything, does snipe a High Templar right there. And Parting is really far behind in terms of supply. In fact, I think he's really far behind in terms of everything right now. Yeah, he is about 20 workers behind, no big deal. Do have Overlord speed on the way. I would love to see some Overlord drops. Those things are always quite awesome. And we do have a mothership just now being finished. Possible Archon toilet here in the future. Not a whole lot of Archons on the field though. One thing that I've noticed Protoss do is overmake Archons. High Templar do a lot more splash damage than Archons do. So I feel as though High Templar are better, just requires skill to use. And this Archon in the back is just trying to do whatever he can. However, the Fungals are huge, and the Roaches get pushed back at a huge blink forward into all the Roaches. I don't know if that's the smartest of ideas. Does manage to push the Roaches back. Basically, they're just trading right now, and that's not what Parting needs to do. He doesn't have the income that DRG has. A couple more Broodlords are out now. And it does look like Parting is just scouting around, trying to see what's going on. Do you have some Stalkers over here? It does look like they got dropped off and then just blinked out. Sorry, I missed that. Oh, and that blink right back in. Gonna pick off a Queen. See if they can pick up anything else. He needs to go for this +3 upgrade. Oh, he's going straight for the spawning pool. I don't think he's gonna get it. The roaches are here. The Queens with transfuse energy does lose a couple of infestors though, kind of sloppy. Needs to separate his hotkeys. And apparently there's a huge attack down here with a bunch of stalkers. Is possibly going to pick off this third, and it does look like in the meantime DRG just happened to snipe that third over here, and in turn Parting's going to snipe the third of DRG. That is unfortunate, and he's going to get scared off by 5 roaches apparently. Now I do believe that DRG knows about this expansion, so he's going to send a little task force of roaches. Going to take that out before Parting can get back to it. Stalker's just kind of running away. Little drone thinks that he can take out a Stalker with some Vespene gas as a weapon. And Vespene gas, man, is poisonous. Just a couple of Broodlords, not really the critical amount that a lot of Zerg players use. A lot of roaches, though, gonna basically be the meat of the army. Now, is this... Yeah, this force definitely getting taken out. There's no saving it. And he's just gonna fight and lose those roaches. A couple of roaches for Nexus is completely alright. And DRG saying screw it, and a huge mass recall. That was beautiful. The only way he could have saved that front, mass recalling everything he had from that fight. A couple of fungals going down so that he can see what's going on. In fact, I don't think he has any overseers in the area, so yeah, he's going to have to pull back. Doesn't have any anti-air either. So a huge play by Parting, mass recalling everything that was down here that was dealing with those roaches to defend. Very, very smart play. Do have the third going back up, as that's really the only base that he would have mining right now. There are no minerals on these patches. And DRG right now is sitting quite well. Does have another base coming up, and he is on 1. Yeah, that's kind of a half since his long distance. 2, 3, and soon to be a 4th mining base over here. Right now, Parting is just basically trying to hold on to whatever he has left. Doesn't really have a whole lot of income. He really needs another base, but I don't think that DRG is going to let him take it. Parting is going to come down here and find out, oh god, he is so far ahead. What can I possibly do? Large changeling squad moving across. Yeah, these stalkers are going to snipe this, and it's not really going to be that huge of a blow to DRG. He has 2 other mining bases, and his third's about to finish back up. I mean, he's already maxed out again. He's starting to bank on some more resources. He might actually be able to grab this. However, there are 6 spine crawlers here and a large force of roaches. So, yeah, and another mass recall to save what he had. Wow, that is actually really clutch, because he would have just lost those otherwise. He really needs to be thinking about resource management, and that was probably the best thing he could have done right there. And energy is free. It just takes time. He doesn't have energy for any kind of vortex right now, and I think DRG knows that, so he's just going to move out. He can't vortex these Broodlords, so not really a thing he can do about it. Now these Stalkers are going to blink up into the main, but they really need to be back here to defend against this huge force. Now they are going to start picking off some stuff. A couple Overlords. Yeah, he's just going straight for the Overlords right now. But in the meantime, apparently a huge storm went down on everything. All the roaches get taken down into the red almost immediately. A bunch of infested Terrans get tossed out. Almost all the Stalkers are gone already, though. These Broodlords doing absolute work. Roaches get burrowed to try and heal back some of that health. This mothership really needs to get taken out, because that is basically been saving Parting this entire game. Those recalls and everything. These Stalkers are getting pulled back, but there's just a ton of stuff in Parting's base right now. He really doesn't have any anti-air though to deal with his mothership. Like, this mothership is doing absolute work. I don't know. Oh, and a huge vortex grabbing a couple broodlords there. I think he grabbed 5. Not any Archons to go in there, but it doesn't matter. They're out of the fight right now. And now Parting is in a position to actually hold this off. Unfortunately, though, he doesn't have the resources to rebuild what he's lost, whereas DRG does. This mothership. I still don't understand why Blizzard decides to take out the mothership. It's kind of stupid in my opinion. The Natural doesn't get taken out. Parting trying to hang in there as long as possible. In fact, DRG's lost a couple broodlords. Not really a huge deal compared to the amount that he has. Parting still does have his little squad of stalkers. Let's go ahead and look at the unit tab. Yeah. Parting's only got about 20 stalkers and a mothership to deal with all these broodlords and roaches. And in fact, wow, there's only 3 broodlords left. Parting pulling off a huge hold somehow. That vortex was actually clutch. That took away almost all the damage that DRG had during that. And it just goes to show how much micro can help. Parting just being a sick baller right now. However, he doesn't have the money to back it up. It's like being really good at a sport, but not having the money to get the gear for it. It sucks. Blink out trying to save his stalkers. However, imminent doom is on its way. I don't think there's enough energy for anything. Yeah, he doesn't have enough energy for Vortex yet, or a mass recall. He should hear in a little bit though. DRG needs to do something about that mothership. Oh, and he knurls it. Huge. He needs to like keep a hold on that just for a little bit, and then use the energy that's on it. Use Vortex here in a second. Vortex, Vortex, Vortex. He has enough energy. There we go. There's the Vortex. There's no energy left on that mothership. Now he needs to take that out somehow. Throw in a couple infested Terrans and deal with that, because that is huge. Blink forward, picks off a broodlord, and right now this looks like it's going to be Parting's last stand. He is trying to long distance mine up here, but I don't think that's going to be enough income to deal with the threat that is at the front of his base. DRG trying to do this a slow creep up with the broodlords. Mothership actually doing work on the broodlords. Going to take one of them out here in a second. And there he goes. All the Parting buildings are under siege right now. Stalker's just kind of cowering in the back, can't really do anything. Shift blink micro out of the base. A couple Stalkers do get left behind. Apparently they're not Marines. It's unfortunate. Marines are overpowered. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be the end of the game. Parting pulling off some really sick moves that I have not seen in a very long time. But it apparently is not enough for the likes of DRG. He is just too damn good. And Parting trying to do a little bit of a flank to take out the broodlords. Blinks back though. Not quite sure what he's going to do. Picking off reinforcements. Parting is just trying to do whatever he can to stay in this game. He really wants to win. I believe this was in the losers bracket of the Winter Arena, so this is like his last chance to stay in. DRG going to come up here and take out the third again. No real resistance unless he starts attacking with the probes. And in come the Stalkers. Huge blink forward into everything. Gotta pick off some broodlords, and is he gonna hold this off again? It is very possible. Roach is tearing through. Not many Stalkers left. Needs to get the broodlords up here and do some damage. But you know what? You know what it was? Changelings. Changelings are ridiculous. Manor Nexus going down. This is GG. There's nothing more that Parting can do. It is game over. There it is, calling it out. Oh, that was an amazing game. Mass Recall is one of the most beautiful spells I've ever seen in my life. People should use that more often. Blizzard should not take out the mothership. Alright guys, well that was it. If you want any kind of guides or anything, or any kind of questions that you want to ask, leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want. We also have a stream. It's twitch.tv/AceGamesTV. We also have a Twitter and a Facebook, facebook.com/the AceGamesTV whatnot, or same thing for Twitter, I believe. And I will see you guys next time.